So growing up, I always had a connection with God. I just didn't really know what it was, and I didn't have like a true relationship with Jesus. I would attend church every once in a while with my grandparents and my mom, but other than that, I didn't really have much of a church life growing up.
Yeah, growing up, I never really experienced any sort of relationship with God. I never attended church, and when I did, it was always uncomfortable to attend church. After Abby and I got married, we of course had our first child, and that's when things kind of started to get a little rocky for me. The nature of our son's birth was a bit traumatic and kind of led me to have a lot of postpartum anxieties. I started kind of making bad choices for my own mental health and for the relationship that I had with Abby. When things started to get really bad, Abby actually came to me concerned that I wasn't the same man that she had married.
My sister got diagnosed with a rare nerve disorder, and then my grandma got diagnosed with cancer. And so I turned to God for the first time in a long time, and He gave me so much peace in knowing that if they were to be in pain or to die, that they would have peace eventually. But it wasn't until I met my friend Sam that everything kind of took off. Sam has this beautiful faith, and she invited me to my very first worship night. I went and I cried and I worshiped and I sang my heart out. That's when I saw how beautiful a life with Jesus could be. And from then on, it just kind of skyrocketed my relationship with Him.
I was still very agnostic, very atheist focused, just wasn't trying to put your faith down, but certainly just was steadfast in my non-faith. You heard from the Lord that I was beginning to understand, or I, for whatever reason, was starting to get it, even though I didn't see that myself. And you came to me concerned that we were about to have a third child. My immediate thought was, especially in my anxiety, why a third child was so concerning for me, why I had resentment towards the fact that I was going to have a third child. And I finally just kind of, out of a moment of desperation, leaned on the Lord and said my very first prayer. Why do I feel this way? I want to go back to the way I felt before. I felt something on my shoulder, and I heard in my head that it was my time.
I had wanted to get baptized a while ago, but I just never could. Either it was timing or an obstacle would get in the way. And then Andrew came to faith and said he wanted to get baptized, and I knew that the Lord waited so that we could be baptized together.
After coming to faith, the very next day after Abby and I had a very spiritual evening, I just stood up out of bed, did a happy dance, and was like, how do you not want to talk about God all the time? For me, it's just a very natural next step to be baptized and commit myself fully to the Lord.
You're so on fire for the Lord that you need an ice bath.
I'm hoping that the waters from baptism don't extinguish my flame, but only make it brighter. So,
and I just know that there's going to be peace and ultimate surrender after. So